Hi everyone, I'm Molly from University of Macau. Today I will be present our work exploring user perception of security auditing in the Web3 ecosystem. So, okay, maybe. Oh, how to? So what is Web3? And it's a decentralized ecosystem building on the blockchain technology. And with such technology help, the user has more control on their data and interactions without relying on any other central entities. So it has attracted millions of users all around the world. However, although it's developing very rapidly, and the security issue has become a very significant problem in this ecosystem. As shown in the figure, the security incidents frequently happened and resulting in significant financial losses for users. So to address these security issues, many security firms has emerged and provide some solutions to address it. Among these, the security auditing is an emerging solution. So what is security auditing? This refers to a specialized security firms and conducted an external audit on Web3 applications, smart contracts, and try to fix the potential vulnerabilities, thereby enhance the application's security. It always finished with public auditing disclosures, where such auditing reports can be found both on the application's websites and the auditing firm's homepage. That's the main function of the security auditing in the Web3 ecosystem. Beyond that, they also work hard in providing security information. As shown in the figures, the auditing firms actively report some security incidents and provide some technical knowledge on their websites and social media. So here is the question: is this security auditing enough to secure Web3? As the previous research mostly focused on the technical security and with limited attention paid to the usable security. So we introduce our research exploring user perception of security auditing in the Web3 ecosystem. And our research including 3 research questions. First is how do users perceive the security information from Web3 auditing? The second is how do users perceive the role of Web3 auditing in enhancing security? And last is how do users perceive the impact of the security auditing in the interactions with Web3 application? To address these issues, we have employed with 3 methods. First, we have a case study to review the information disclosure on auditing firms' websites, and then we interview with 20 Web3 users, and finally we analyze the data from the online communities on Reddit. Through these methods, we have some interesting findings. First is about how do users perceive the security information from Web3 auditing. Our user reports that the information disclosure are insufficient, and this including 2 reasons. First is the comprehensiveness is lack, as users find it difficulty for them to know about who is responsible for the security auditing and how was their performance in the past. And the next is the depth of the auditing is also lacks, as many users report that some important details are missing. So with such insufficient information disclosure, we explore users' perception of the role of Web3 auditing in enhancing security within the Web3 ecosystem. We have conducted a sentiment analysis on online Web3 community discussions, and we found the users' attitudes are quite varied. Among them, the negative attitudes is slightly more, and we explore the reason behind this. First is user question about the effectiveness of security auditing, as they may raise question about whether the security auditing can truly protect the application, especially when they thought the audited applications still experience the attacks. And the second reason is about the auditing firms, as user raise question about its independence and impartiality. This is mainly because they thought many irresponsible auditing practices and that failed to meet their expectations. So we found the auditing firms currently lack of reputations, as most of users can name a trustworthy one. Although many users may question about the security auditing, there are still many users appreciate its value. Some of them still believe that security auditing can help minimize the smart contract vulnerability and enhancing the security of the application. And most of them think perceive the security auditing as a proof for the application's security efforts, especially considering the financial costs. However, our research found that this positive view may lack of strong backing, as we found users indeed have difficulty in knowing about the specific costs of the security auditing, as most of the auditing firms do not provide information about price. And the other just simply said the price depends on workload and without specifying any figures. So with such a varied attitudes of security auditing, we explore users' position on the impact of Web3 auditing on their interactions with audited applications. Our research found that the security auditing indeed has a limited impact on their security decision, as users just simply check if the application is audited and do not really take it as very seriously. Nevertheless, the security auditing still play an important role in security education within the Web3 ecosystem, as many users report that they have learned some technical professional knowledge from the security report. So after understanding what is the user's perception of security auditing, we try to explore the reason behind it and the challenge they bring through the unique characteristic of Web3. The first thing is the decentralization. As the Web3 building on the blockchain technology, it brings more autonomy for users, will also bring much more security risk the user should face, as we mentioned in the earlier. So the community is much more trustless compared to the centralized ecosystem, which means users always have more higher expectation on the impartiality of the auditing practice. The second thing is the lack of regulations, as the security auditing is becoming potential regulatory tool in the Web3 ecosystem to help users engage in the Web3. Therefore, this places more pressure on the Web3 security auditing industry to maintain high standards, and otherwise the irresponsible auditing practice will damage its reputations, and as we mentioned in the earlier, will finally undermine users' trust. The last point is the technical complexity, as the blockchain is very revolutionary, but it still brings some challenge for average user to engage in the Web3 ecosystem. The security auditing has bridged this gap by translating the technical terms into accessible report for users. However, it still have some problems as it show considering how to balance the professionalism with reliability, especially considering the users' diverse knowledge level in the Web3 ecosystem. Based on the challenge we mentioned above, we have our design implications. First, for users, we suggest them to leverage communities for technical understanding. And for auditing firms, we suggest them balance the information presentations and take some trust-build measures, which can be found in our papers. That's all my work. Thanks for my co-author, reviewers, participants, and your audience. And there is still some interesting findings in our paper. Don't have time to present it here. If you have any question, welcome to discuss with the Q&A question or through our email, X, or visit the Macau with our research group. Thank you.
Thank you, Molly. Questions for Molly? So let me just kick off. It was not clear to me what sources you reviewed, actually, at least for your for the audit reports. Could you talk a little bit about those?
Security reports?
Can't hear you back here at all.
Okay. So my question was, what sources did you review for your audit reports? You presented a lot of findings based on the audit reports, right? So what sources were they?
Oh, okay. We found the review source we found it from some top auditing firms. We find the list auditing firms from the top 15 Web3 applications, and we check who is responsible for their auditings, and those audit firms we think they are top in this industry. So we check their audit reports and their websites to review those pretense about including their information and their reports and other things. And yeah.
Okay. Other questions?
So great work there, trying to understand users' perceptions, especially since in Web3 we've almost tried to democratize, right, these actual applications. But is that a fundamental problem? Like, as you mentioned, these users are not well equipped to understand auditing reports, right? I've actually audited some of these contracts myself. If you look at the auditing report, there'll be like a line at the bottom, like, oh, this contract supports upgradability, so nothing in this audit report means anything, right? That's how most of them end, meaning the audits are also useless. But the average users don't notice that. It's like one line at the end of them. So is this a fundamental problem with Web3, is that it relies on every user being able to audit things because it's democratized everything, but fundamentally, that's probably never going to happen.
Okay, maybe I don't think the simple audit report is the fundamental problem, as in this Web3 ecosystem, the user has very diverse background, as some of them may be very interested in computer science, and so they are very interested in some technical details in that. But the others maybe just they can understand those those difficult knowledge. They just maybe need some simple simple summaries. So in our research, we may suggest the auditing firms to provide their information in a suitable presentation for the different needs of users, as they may for their security decisions. Yeah, if just simply the result as a bottom line is security. For some very technical users, maybe it's not enough. And also, some audit firms think they do this is enough, but maybe they should take more efforts to make their results more accessible for those technical users, we think.
Some type of standardization around the audit reports.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Molly. Let's give a round of applause again. Thank you.